What's going on, y'all, and happy Tuesday. I hope everybody out there is feeling fantastic. So let's go ahead and slide on this video. So something disturbing transpired in Las Vegas over the weekend where you had two YouTubers that met up and things didn't end well. So we had a creator by the name of Finney the Legend that resided in Arizona, and Sin City Manny, of course, resided in Las Vegas. And according to a lot of speculation all over social media, the two of them have been beefing for quite some time. I'm hearing that it was over some type of copyright strike, allegedly, and the two of them started taking personal shots at each other and going after each other's wives and things like that publicly all over social media for the whole wide world to see. So fast forward to this past weekend, Finney decided to take his wife to Vegas to have a good time and to enjoy all the festivities that Vegas has to offer. Now, Manny found out that the two of them were in town, and he said that he was dying to see the both of them. So on Sunday night, Finney, along with his wife Bubbly, were live streaming outside of the Bellagio Hotel, and Manny walked by and actually saw the two of them. And then he walked by a second time, and that's when Finney's wife saw Manny, and she approached him and said, Now the rest of the video is absolutely a tough watch. If you want to watch the video in its entirety, you can find it all over X. But I'm telling you, it really disturbed me to my core to see Finney and his wife get taken out in that manner. Now, Manny, he had a lot of guts. He knew that man was live streaming, and it seems as though he wanted to make an example out of Finney. And he did it in front of everybody that was on the strip. I mean, he did it in cold-blooded fashion. Now, Manny has since turned himself into police. In fact, he turned himself into police yesterday morning. Now, what I want to do right now is implement a couple of clips of people reacting to this nonsense, and then I'll be back to give you my 2 cents on this.
Another day, another man proving why they are the most unsafe creatures on the planet. Now, if you guys are familiar with this story, it's currently trending right now all across social media. Now, this is a live streamer by the name of Finney the Legend, and this is a live streamer by the name of Sin City Manny. And this is Finney the Legend's wife, Bubbly, the only innocent party in this entire tragic story. Now, the story between Finney and Manny date back quite a few years, and because YouTube had taken down Sin City Manny's page, there's no way to really chronicleize how far back their beef went. And I'm going to assume something happened in December of last year because the Wayback Machine had capsulized Manny on live stream over on YouTube. So much so that they actually capsulized this entire page for the day. Now, fast forward to about a month ago, Finney the Legend had taken a live stream and said season 3, number 3, Finney is winning. Come in and let's profit off of Sin City family. Here we go. Now, in this 5-hour live stream, Finney discusses basically his angst with Sin City Manny. He doesn't really go into depth on how the beef started, but he does play some controversial clips that Sin City Manny had said in regards to his life. For reference, before I give the spoiler at the end, this man lives in Arizona and Sin City Manny lives in Nevada.
Make an example off that fool watch. He thinks it's a joke. He thinks it's a game. You're going to feel that, homie. Oh yeah, green light on that. And us as a family should come together, Sin City family soldiers, and stand up. Take these people out. And I expect every one of you that's hearing me right now, that's been with the Sin City familia, green light. Green light.
Now you can hear clear as day in this live stream that Sin City Manny was definitely putting a threat out on Finney the Legend's life. And so much so that even individuals who were sending super chats to Finney the Legend were saying things like this. Somebody by the name of Snow said, "Keep on winning, Finney. You live rent free in that clown's head. No Section 8 needed." But you guys, there were hundreds of comments like this. Hundreds. Now, what a lot of these commenters didn't know as they were throwing money at a very volatile situation is that Finney the Legend was actually going to make a trip out to Las Vegas. Now, fast forward to a day ago, he then posts this live stream of him touching down in Vegas. And listen to exactly what he said before him and his wife's tragic passing.
You want me to pull up, Bobby? I don't usually let people know where I'm going while I'm out here. I'm a controversial figure, but I'm on something different this time. I don't care. I'm going to put it out there. Y'all tell me where to go. I'm out here on y'all. This is the prelude to my birthday weekend.
So not only are you in a foreign city, you're in a foreign city with your wife, asking people in your audience that you don't know to tell you where to pull up. And to make matters worse, individuals started flooding his chat about places he should pull up. Somebody by the name of Nick O-Teen said, yes, go to Fremont, while others were rallying for him to go to specific locations in the Las Vegas Strip and the Strip area. And what makes the story so tragic is that his wife is actually the innocent party. Because while this one thought it was fun to make idle threats to one another across state lines, an innocent woman's life was taken absolutely for no reason. And mind you, this one has a wife by the name of Julie who has to literally scrape the pieces of her life together because her husband decided to actively commit first-degree. Now, as a footnote, a lot of his supporters in the chat kept urging him to take all the evidence that he was being sent to the police. In the coming days, we're going to figure out if he did actually file those police reports against Sin City Manny. But as for now, I don't have any sympathy for men who put women's lives in danger. I absolutely do not. And I understand this is a trying time, and I absolutely pray for their families, but we shouldn't have stories like this ever to come across our screens.
Trigger warning. This is a sad story out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Once again, trigger warning. Prayers go out to Finney the Legend and his wife, Bubbly. Okay, so there was a sad story that came out basically yesterday evening about a couple who were basically pew in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, the culprit or the suspect involved is Manny Wise. He is also another YouTuber. Both of these people involved in this are basically YouTubers. Now, apparently they had beef on YouTube. A lot of people were saying Los Angeles. No, it happened in front of the Bellagio in Las Vegas. Now, apparently, the guy Manny Wise was actually riding around the day before. I wanted to get all of the info about what really happened that led up to this before I made a post, and that's why I'm making it so late in the afternoon. So Manny Wise was driving around the day before, apparently, and also having dialogue back and forth between him and guys, basically the Legend, and Miss Bubbles, I guess, that basically they were in his town when he seen them, what he was going to do to them or whatever. When he was on live, he was driving around in the car, and he also said some of his quote-unquote favorite fans were in town and he was dying to see them. Now, apparently, Miss Bubbles and her husband had went live in front of Bellagio. You can also see in the video that Manny Wise walked past him first and tried to get off camera. Miss Bubbles spotted him off camera while her husband was still on the camera streaming, and she said, don't come over here starting any nonsense. Now, he also doubled back. I guess he didn't know if he was on stream. Honestly, it looked like he didn't even care, and he basically opened pew on her husband first. Then Miss Bubbles started screaming and said, are you kidding me? And then he attempted to unalive Miss Bubbles. Prayers go out to them. The last thing I heard is that he's still at large. I don't know if they have caught him yet, but I will update in the comment section, and we will keep each other updated in the comment section. This is a very sad story, man, and prayers go out to both families, because honestly, two families are disrupted with this. If I have any updates, I'll let you guys know later. I'm just a messenger.
All right, so you guys just heard all of that, and this is what I think about the situation, right? And I say this coming from a very respectable place, but I have to keep it all the way 100, right? I think it was reckless for Finney to be live streaming on that strip in front of that hotel with his back turned to oncoming traffic. You have to be watchful. You have to be on your P's and Q's, especially when you're in someone else's city that you got beef with. Now, maybe Finney was of the mindset that Manny wouldn't get active in front of all those people. Maybe he thought that being on the strip, he was in a safe place. But when you have beef to that magnitude, you have to expect the worst thing that could absolutely happen. And that's how I think. And I'm not saying that I can't get got because I'm not Superman, but I would have been more on point in that situation. I would never have my back turned. Now, another thing that I want to touch on is the fact that once Finney heard his wife getting on Manny, at that particular point in time, you were supposed to bum rush the situation. If you knock your wife down by mistake, she will understand at the end of the day that you were trying to save her or get her out of harm's way. And you were supposed to be more up on Manny, up in his grill, rather than backing up talking about what's up, because in my honest estimation, I feel like Bubbly was doing what she needed to do to defend her man. And at that particular point in time, you were supposed to take over and play better defense and try to stabilize Manny from getting off his ratchet, you know? And so what? A couple of shots may have got you. At that particular point in time, survival mode should have kicked in, and your objective should have been to protect your wife at all costs. Instead, you backed up and left your wife in no man's land. And God forbid if he had got off on her first and you would have ran. Now, obviously, Bubbly was a real one. She defended her man and she passed away with her man, unfortunately. But it's just a really, really tough situation to really stomach for me. I'm so upset about the situation that I'm calm. I think Manny is a sucker for this, and he knew he didn't have a fair shot with those hands. And you have to understand, in the situations and in the world that we live in today, nobody is trying to box. They're not trying to box. So you have to be prepared, just like they're prepared. Now, me personally, I'm not taking my loved ones to a city where I have beef at. I'm just not going to risk it at all. So if my wife want to go to Vegas, I mean, in a perfect world, you go where you want to, but I understand the circumstances. I'm not putting no one that I love in harm's way. Now, as far as Manny is concerned, I hope those brothers get their hands on him in that jail. And when he goes to prison, I hope they turn him every which way but loose, for real, because this was some punk-ish, and it just really has me heated to the 10th power, right? But I'm gonna leave it right here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this whole entire situation. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, consider subbing to the channel. Peace.